Welcome all you inspiring people out there. Today we will see how to load a flat brush for one stroke art. So let's get started. Before we load our brush with paint, it is advisable to dampen it a bit as it allows the brush to absorb the paint fabulously. For this, soak the brush in water and then pat it dry on a tissue or a towel to get rid of excess water. Once our brush is well moistened, we will dip one of the vertical edge of the brush in the lighter paint and the other vertical edge in the darker one. After picking up the paint on the brush, we will work it back and forth on the palette to let the colors blend just a little in order to achieve a smooth transition from darker to the lighter shade. We will again pick up some more color and work it into the bristles. Keep reloading and working in the paint until it has wonderfully penetrated into the bristles. We want to make sure that we press the brush hard enough as we work the paint in to allow the bristles to open up and absorb the paint nicely. Remember to stay on the same spot while working the paint in to avoid the paint getting all mixed up. Considering that our brush is well loaded, let's check it by doing a rough stroke. The brush should be sliding smoothly on the surface. If the brush leaves certain areas uncovered with the paint, then we must go back to the palette and reload and work in the paint again. As we see, the brush is still leaving certain areas uncovered with the paint, so let's pick up some more paint and work it in. So when we have our brush perfectly loaded with color, we are ready to paint. Let's paint a test flower to see how it works. You may notice that I am reloading my brush after doing the stroke. This is to avoid the brush running out of paint and getting dry. Refrain from using water though to moisten the brush, as it will make the paint runny, which isn't a desirable consistency for getting clean, crisp strokes. Instead, we keep on reloading the brush after every few strokes in order to keep it from getting dry. We may also use a floating medium for this purpose for its paint-like consistency. A floating medium helps the brush slide smoothly on the surface. It is important to note here that a floating medium can also reduce the opacity of the paint. Accordingly, we use it based on the kind of project we are working on. While this was a little demonstration of how to load a flat brush with two colors for one-stroke painting, there are many variations to load a flat brush for one-stroke art. We could load the brush 2/3 with one color and 1/3 with the other according to the piece of work we are doing. Brush can also be loaded with more than two colors. Moreover, colors on the brush could be worked in a way that we get a sharp contrast between the colors rather than a smooth transition, and we can achieve this by putting a little less pressure while working in the paint on the palette. Beside these, we could have many other different possibilities which we discover as we keep on experimenting with our one-stroke art. Should you have any queries about the brush loading technique or require any further information on different variations to loading the brush, do not hesitate to write in the comment section below. Let me also share a little tip about how to hold the brush while doing the strokes. It is usually helpful to hold the brush like a pencil while doing one-stroke art, and the reason for this is it helps us to have a complete control over the brush so we can steer it as required to create well-finished strokes. I hope you found this video helpful. A perfectly loaded brush is the first and foremost requirement for beautifully finished strokes, and it is a good idea to take time to master this skill. So have fun with your painting. Do share this video with anyone you feel might benefit from its contents. Thank you for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.